Hello, sweet friends. It's Tracy. I know that it has been a little bit since I have done a video. I have been super duper busy and wanted to share what I have been creating. Guys, I put together some budget-friendly crafts and DIYs that I use for some customer appreciation gifts. There would be great for craft fairs, Christmas gifts, teacher gifts, co-workers, neighbors, sisters, or maybe a girls' night. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started and let me show you what I put together for these budget-friendly crafts and DIYs. Here are some cute little budget-friendly ornaments that I put together. So I found these white, rustic brown, and black tags. They come in a set of 12 each. They're already painted in these colors. I found them over in the party section at Hobby Lobby. And so also found these vintage Santa little decals as well as some glittered holly. So what I'm going to do is start with the brown one, and I have this plastic stencil that I've had on hand for many years, and just taking a makeup sponge and some red paint, just giving it some red stripes so that it turns out like this. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, just to add a just a background for this. And then I'm going to go ahead and distress it just a little. This is my distress ink in black, and then just going around the edges just to give it a distressed look. Then I'm going to go ahead and add some paint splatters with some off-white or ivory paint with my stencil brush and a stick. That is the way that I like to add some paint splatters to my projects. Then I add some glitter by using my adhesive spray and my sprinkling on some glitter to each one of those. Then this is what I am doing for the Merry Christmas. I just printed it out on my Word document on my computer, and the font is Joseph and Sophia. It is found at defont.com, and so I cut it to the size that would fit my tag, and then I'm going to rip around the edges to give it the aged look. Then I take my vintage photo distress ink and then just go around those. And for an extra touch, I have my glossy accents. It's kind of like an embellishment accent, and I like to kind of dab that on, and it kind of gives a glossy look to this sign like this. I'm just using a little stencil brush. And then to add my embellishments to my tag, I have these 3D foam squares. I found these in the craft like scrapbooking section, and so I add them to the back of the little decals as well as my sign, and then attach them to my little tag here, and my little ornament is coming together so nicely. For the small jingle bells, I have this garland that I got in the Christmas section at Hobby Lobby. It is meant for, to go around your tree, but I'm like, I can take that apart and use those little bells because I love that size. And so then this brown wire is something that I picked up over at Michael's several years ago. It almost looks like rusty wire. It can pass for that. And I just thread the little bells on there, and then I'm using my curling tools from a sweet friend and follower that she sent me, and it just has a little notch in there, and then it just curls my wires so easy for me. And if you're interested in that, I will have information of where you can find those little curling tools. I will have the website of where you can find those. All right, so then I just ripped some muslin fabric and then just threading that through the hole, and then I'm going to make a hanger for this one. And then this is what I did, guys, for the black one. Very similar to this one, the vintage Santa, just with the black tags, I just took some buttermilk paint and my fan brush, and I'm just making my own background, just, doing my faux plaid pattern. No really rhyme or reason to it, just adding some paint to that, letting that dry, then adding my glitter like I did with the first one, just with my adhesive spray, just sprinkling on my glitter, then adding my attachments the same way. Now for the Merry Christmas, I use the same Joseph Sophia font, but I did it instead of black, I did it Merry Christmas in red, and then just printed that out on my my home computer. For the white tag Christmas tree ornaments, I'm using the white tags from Hobby Lobby as well as the wooden trees from the Dollar Tree. There were 8 of the wooden trees in this pack. Now I'm going to use some scrapbook paper, and all of the scrapbook paper that I'm using in this project is from Hobby Lobby. I just found the patterns that I wanted. I wanted some tree patterns and some holly, and so I just traced out the trees. I like to trace on the front side so that I can get what pattern or which part of the paper that I want. I just cut it out with my scissors, and then again attaching that to the tree using the Mod Podge heat transfer method, just adding some Mod Podge, let that dry, and then use my little iron. My Cricut mini heat press is what I like to use, and then attaching that to my my tree paper, to my tree wood little embellishment here. Working and creating with tin cans are pretty budget friendly. Usually we recycle or either, throw them away into the garbage. And so I have these cans. They were like from beans or something like that, vegetables. And so I took off the labels, ran it through my dishwasher, and then now we're going to go ahead and work on the napkins. Now, the beautiful napkin came from Hobby Lobby in the Christmas section. And so this is a 3-ply napkin. And so it has a white back on the back. And I'm going to take off that one layer on the back. And if this is just a little tip that I picked up from a fellow creative. If that ply on the back gives you a hard time, get a piece of Scotch tape, put it on the edge of your finger, and then put it in the corner, and then you can take off the napkin just like that. I'm going to go ahead and cut it in half so that I can work with it a little bit easier. Now, I have an electric smooth edge can opener, and so that cuts it where it takes off the tops where I do not have any sharp edges. I know that there are also handheld ones that you can get from the grocery store, or I got my electric one from Amazon, and it is really a lifesaver, especially since I like to upcycle and reuse the cans for different projects. It really helps with having those smooth edges on the end so that I don't have any of the sharp edges. All right, so then for the napkin, I'm just Mod Podging it on there and just kind of working in sections so that I don't get any wrinkles. I do not want wrinkles for my little napkin. I just kind of Mod Podge the bottom as well as just flip it over into the inside, and then that looks all really nice and finished. While the Mod Podge is still wet, I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle on some glitter. I think this is the diamond glitter that I'm using, and it really just gives it that Christmas festive look for my cans. I want to give my cans a little bit of weight by adding some rocks in the bottom. Not too many, just enough to give it a little bit of weight so that it doesn't tump over too heavy. I pull out my jug of Aleene's Tacky glue and then just put some glue in there, drop a couple of rocks in there. And so again, I just use this for weight. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut down some styrofoam. Now got this styrofoam from Amazon. You can find it in my Amazon storefront. I just cut down pieces of it to fit inside the cans. Then I'm going to go ahead and add some Excelsior. Now I got this brown Excelsior from Joann Craft Store, and I think it's the perfect addition for these cute gingerbread can creations because I just love the brown. Now I'm just using a variety of greenery. I got this greenery from Amazon. I also am using some greenery that I got from Hobby Lobby, as well as some berries and some of these branches that have the icicles on them, or that's kind of what I refer to them as. And so you can get those over at Hobby Lobby, as well as these cute little gingerbread pigs. Oh my goodness, I got 3 boys and 3 girls because I'm going to have 6 cans. And guys, this is how a finished one looked. And also got this ribbon over at Hobby Lobby. Everything, I love Hobby Lobby. That is my favorite store. And for me personally, and I am just here to inspire you, to encourage you, just to give you ideas. I'm not sure what stores you love in your area, but if Hobby Lobby is not your store, then, buy things at the stores that you like. And guys, isn't these cans turning out adorable? So I just stuck in some greenery as well as some berries, some of those iced branches, stuck in my little gingerbread gingerbread. Now I did have to cut down the sticks of them because they were too long, and I just used my wire cutters for that. And then I'm just making a bow, and I'm going to use some green branches. They're almost like pipe cleaners. You can get them during the Christmas season, and so those work good to kind of tie those little bows, and so that it can stick there in the styrofoam as well. And friends, these make great little gifts just for a friend, coworker, teachers. They also are great craft show or craft fair sellers, or, you know, just to do with the kids and that kind of thing. I hope that you are inspired. This is, I just did this in a gingerbread theme. I also shared in the summer that I created some for 4th of July using some like red, white, and blue, kind of Uncle Sam gnomes. And I made some little can arrangement just like this, and they were just such a hit. Again, I give them away as gifts, some customer appreciation, you know, for purchasing my wreaths and that kind of thing. And so I am so happy when I can upcycle something that is meant for the trash and turn it into something so creative. I wanted to share how I created the gather signs and how I attached or adhered the napkins onto the wooden signs. Now, the gather signs are from Dollar Tree. I think they have like thankful as well as family. And I thought that I would make some of these. Now, I am just going to use my antique wax, which is the brown wax from Walmart. And I'm just going to give it around the sides and the back because I want to make sure that it is all finished. The front, that is what I'm going to be adhering the napkin onto. So I'm not going to be painting that. And usually I use a baby wipe to kind of spread that around like that. But I just use my stencil brush just to get into the holes and the nooks and the crannies where I couldn't get my little baby wipe in there. Give it a layer of Mod Podge, and just use my heat tool just to dry that up. I let it dry completely. And again, this napkin is a 2-ply napkin, and so I'm going to cut it down a little bit. Now, this is just like the cocktail size napkin. That's the size that I had. And so I'm going to have to piece 2 of them together to make sure that it covers my whole sign. And what I'm sharing here is just a little tip. If you can't get the white part apply off the back, get a piece of scotch tape on your finger and then attach it to the back, and it should pull up the back part or the white part or the ply of your napkin. And so then once my Mod Podge is dry, then I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to the front of the sign. And then here I am just attaching or just piecing the part together. That white paper that I'm using is parchment paper, and it just acts as a barrier for my iron. I'm just using my little Cricut mini heat press just to do this. Now, I'm just cutting off the excess of my napkin because I'm going to be using my lighter and going to go ahead and use the like burn method to get all the rest of the excess of the napkin off. And so I have learned just trial and error to not have a lot of extra, because once the flame is going around the sign or around the wooden part, it can, you know, get a little bit of a bigger flame, and I don't want to freak out. So I also punch out the holes that are in the middle of the letters and actually burn those as well. And it's just so satisfying to just light it and just watch it burn all the way around. And this is a great way to put different napkins and have it adhere to different things that are curved, and just make all kind of different designs. It's very budget friendly for small little gifts. And then I just gave it a layer of Mod Podge just to seal the napkin and everything down. I also added some vintage photo distress ink as well as highlighted in white. And I honestly think these turned out great. They're very budget friendly and perfect for little gifts or giveaways.